Um, okay. I hope you guys are doing good. So this will basically be a lesson on how to attempt trading um, different sessions, and yeah, that will be the main topic. It's on how to trade sessions, and we're definitely just going to be breaking down the charts once more. We're just going to take the time to break down the charts once again. Where is that? We're just going to try and break down the charts once again, but the main aim here is to explain uh, the main aim here is to also explain this particular sessions so that you can know how to trade sessions individually, right? So my first thing that I want you to notice or to know about is when it comes to hi, I hope you are doing good. So my main aim here is to come and explain the on how to trade different sessions, right? If you are on the WhatsApp channel, I hope you did go through and read what I have sent there on the channel, right? So on the channel, on the WhatsApp channel, I did mention that for you to be able to trade, obviously I won't teach you my way. Okay, okay, I hope your dad is doing good as a DJ. But let me continue with what I'm here for. Because we're here for trading, right? So I said when it comes to trading different sessions, here's what you need to know, right? Here's what you need to know. Pay attention and make sure that you write this down so that you can be able to do it on yourself, right? I'm not going to teach you on how to find entries. I'm not going to teach you on how to find exits because that's on you. I'm giving you a knowledge that can help you edify what you already know, right? So during agent session, right, let's talk about the sessions that we're going to be focusing on. We're just going to only be focusing on 3 sessions, right? Because I also sent out a table there on WhatsApp channel so that you can unfortunately, Dennis, unfortunately I can't read the comments because they are in can you do you mind typing them in English? Right, so we have 3 sessions that we need to be focusing on, which is Asian session, Asian session, and then um, we also have London, right? We also have London session, and then the last one would be the New York session, right? But the New York, the New York, the New York session, right? Where's the thing? We have the New York session. So here's what I want you to now take to actually note is that during Indian session we have about three, right? We have about 3 instruments that you can trade during agent session. So those instruments are as follows. You have GBP JPY, you have USD JPY, and you also have gold. So here's one thing that I want you to also note is that when we talk about gold, gold falls under different, or rather it falls under multiple sessions. So with gold, you can trade it during Asian session and you can also trade it during New York session. But what I want you to take note is that the most preferable, instrument to trade during Asian session would be GBP JPY in Asian session, right? So would be, come on, man, come on. The most preferable things to trade during Asian session would be GBP JPY. In this case, you're gonna have GBP, you're gonna have GBP JPY, 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 and you also have gold, right? XAU USD. And I said you can also trade USD JPY as well during Asian session, right? But now that's what we just need to focus on right now. So when you have to obviously I'm going to teach you on how to trade gold, right? Because with other instruments such as GBP JPY and USD JPY, that's on you. You go do your own thing. So what's most important, the one that I personally love trading would be gold, obviously, during Asian session. But I mostly try to trade either GBP JPY or gold. I hardly trade USD JPY during Asian session. I'm not a fan of it, so I rather just leave it. But those are the most preferable preferable instruments to trade during Asian session, right? So now, obviously, even this setup was made during Asian session. I even posted on the WhatsApp channel to tell to actually send out a notice to say that because it was during Asian session, the main focus there was a buy already. So obviously with the buy, it's not a matter of just seeing that the during Asian session GBP JPY had to buy. It was also a set of, I saw that we had structural confirmation that actually led me into knowing where exactly the price is heading. So when you have structural confirmation, it's easier for you to also just trade during Asian session. But now let me just quickly jump onto gold strictly, because we got to focus on gold, which is what mostly people love trading, which is gold. So if you can take a look at this as well. During Asian session, I did also mention that on gold, we are definitely looking at a drop, right, during Asian session. Obviously, for me personally, there are certain things that I looked into that also confirmed selling opportunities right before Asian session could confirm what I wanted, right? So it means that I have the advantage of structural confirmation to trade Asian session, but I want to teach you on what to do during Asian session so that you can actually be able to trade it on yourself, right? On the WhatsApp channel, here are the things that I did mention. I said, I said during Asian session, this is what you're gonna be looking at. So mind you, the very same setup that you see right now here, it was done during Asian session, and I also did mention in the WhatsApp channel that even on gold, the main target currently that we're looking for is this target. That's the main target that we're looking for on gold. Though I said this is not the most preferable target that I'll go for. It's just more of like the most guaranteed price that I see that price could definitely reach. But the chances are that price could even fall beyond this area, right? But now on how to go about trading it would be in this way. I said that the most convenient times that you're gonna be looking at are as follows. They are as follows. So I'm gonna make this one visible for higher time frames. Let me just say in the weekly time frame, right? And also the day the I'll bring it back. So this setup was done during Asian session today, and people who are in the on WhatsApp channel, definitely it's easier for them to trade it, because I was there to actually give them an alert and give them an alert on trading this part, right? So moving along, right? Moving along, it would be now. Here's how you go about it. So I'm gonna go to 15 minutes time frame, because you need the 15 minutes time frame. You need the 15 minutes time frame. So with the 15 minutes time frame, because due to different platforms, because on gold we have different platforms. You can see this one is Pepper Stone, and we have we have different platforms on gold that you can always check gold on. But because of that, here's what you're gonna here's what you're gonna need to do. I'm gonna show you the things that you should be looking at during 15 minutes time frame. So most preferably, it's nice to wake up at around probably half past to almost to 3. Almost to 3, because Asian session starts at around 2 a.m. So what you're gonna be doing is that during the time that you wake up before half past 3, right? Before half past 3, you're gonna make sure that you're going to be highlighting the following things. Because of this, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. obviously when you come to this, you're gonna see that this time slot. I don't know if whether you guys can see the time slot. Let me try and take this thing so that I can show you on the screen properly. If you can take a look at this time slot, right? If you can take a look at this time slot, I'm using South African time, by the way. I'm using South African time. But if you take a look at this time slot, this is 23:45. And the following candlestick that opens there, it's recorded to be what? It's recorded to be 1 o'clock. So with time, obviously there are certain other platforms that can show you candlesticks that were printed between this time, between 23:45 and 1 o'clock. But that's not a problem if your platform is showing the same. So what you need is that you're gonna need to highlight the okay, here I even made a mistake here. So you need to highlight from the, oh no, I didn't make a mistake, did I? Nope. You need to highlight from the closing price of that candlestick of 23:45, right? And then you also take it where you also you also join it with the opening price of what, of the candlestick that opened at 1 o'clock, which is this currently candlestick. It opened at 1 o'clock, right? So this will highlight it will highlight a range that identified market open. Obviously the market open is within this range, but we just need that as a daily range, as a daily open range, right? We just need that price, which is this one. So what you're going to do now is, now you're going to be highlighting the following prices on your chart, where the first one would be 215. You need 215. This is 215. And then you're going to need the price, another time slot, which would be 330. 330. Let's take a look at it. It's 330, right? So that's what you're going to be needing. These are the two time slots that you need. You need this open range that you're going to be highlighting yourself, and then you need 215 Asian open, and then you also need 230 for confirmations. And what you do from there is the following, right? What you're gonna need to do is the following. If you go and look at the if you go and look at the, what do you call that thing, if you go and look at the table that I sent out in the WhatsApp channel, right, you're gonna see I mentioned it has its conditions, whereby you know if whether the market opened above range, then you know that you would know when the market is going to be bearish, and then you know when it's going to be bullish during Asian session, right? But now what I want to highlight then is knowing which one is bearish and knowing which one is bullish, because I understand that it can be quite confusing to other people to understand, which is the aim. The aim is not to give out the full information on one poster on how to trade it, but it's just to give out a clarity on what to look for, right? So when we talk about a bearish Asian session, price would be when it would be when the price at 215 would be the price at 215 when the 215 opens, right? When the candlestick at 215 opens, meaning that exactly at 215, when the price opens at 215, right? When the price exactly opens at 215, we look at, is it opening above or below price? So in this case, it opens above. So it means that it's above. So on the column there on the WhatsApp channel, you're going to see it's the column that's above already. That means you're focusing on columns. You're going to be focusing on columns that are above, meaning that price opened above, right? I'm sorry to hear my explanation is going to be poor. My forgiveness. I just wanted to explain as quick as I can. Didn't come here prepared, but okay. So now, what then highlights that the Asian session would be bearish or bullish? So since, well, the other marked out time slot is 15:30, this is where we get our confirmation, right? For us to know that price is, for us to know that price is bearish during Asian session, it is when price at 3:30. It is when price at 3:30. It means that 3:30 must exactly hit while you are looking at the charts, because you don't want to miss it, unless if you're gonna be opening at 3 minutes time frames to check where did it open. So I prefer exactly at 3:30 that you're already on your charts, so that what you're gonna be looking at, you look at, does the 3:30, when price opens at 3:30, is it opening below, the closing price, right? Is it opening below the closing price of the 15-minute candlestick that closed at 2:15? So it means that what you're going to be looking at is the candlestick that closes at 2:15. You look at, does the candlestick at 3:30, does it close below? If it closes below, it tells you that already the what's this, sorry for stuttering, it means that the direction during that Asian session would be bearish, or rather you need to be looking for selling opportunities, right? What you need to understand is that it doesn't say sell immediately, right? But it says that because me and you and other people obviously have different ways in trading. You have your own way of trading, I have my own way of trading. But what matters is understanding what happens when the daily open, when the daily range is there. You have you have your 2:15 candlestick and your confirmation at 3:30. So that confirmation at 3:30 gives you the direction. It, in this case, from that table, it said that it's bearish. For the fact that it said it's bearish, what do? You're looking for selling opportunities. According to me, obviously, and according to my way of trading principle, there is certain conditions that I looked into that confirm that we are definitely in a what? We are definitely in a bearish direction, meaning that we're looking for more selling opportunities within here. And if you take a look at it, it did sell even up until now. Do you see? That's the most wonderful part about it. It sold even currently. It still held those sales. That's why even during Asian sessions, we still held those sales up until even now. So that's the good part about it. So that gives you. But if we were to look at a bullish thing, let me just try and do a bullish chart. Let me try and do a bullish chart so that I can show you the difference, or not even a difference, but on how to go about trading it, right? Okay, right. Sorry about that. So let me try and do a bullish movement, because here was bearish. So right now I'm going to do an example for bullish, right? For a bullish market, right? So for a bullish market, I'm going to be using the price that occurred, or I'm going to be using the 2nd of January market direction, so that you can definitely take a look at it, right? So same thing applies. I mentioned that you're gonna have your candlestick that's in this case here, because there was a holiday before then. It was supposed to have we were supposed to have 22 23:45, right? But in this case we only have 21:45. So what matters is just highlighting, what is highlighting the closing price of that candlestick and the opening price of the candlestick at 1 o'clock. So that will highlight where the daily range is within. So it means that the daily range is within these prices, right? So what matters now is that now you're going to be highlighting this time slots again. You just need 2:15. You need your 2:15. 2:15 is exactly right here, and you need your 3:30. And you need your 3:30. 3:30 is right here. So those are the times that you need, right? So moving along. So moving along is that now you're going to be doing the following from here. Same thing applies. You look at where does the 215 open. You can see that the 215 candlestick opened above where? Opened above the daily range. So it means that we're still looking at a what? At a condition that's above. If you go and look at the table that I sent on the WhatsApp channel, right? So now, with the fact that the table suggests that we need to be looking at above now, what you need is that you need the closing price of the 215 candlestick, which is exactly right here. And then what do you do from there? You look at whether the 330 candlestick, or rather the 330 open, does it open below or above that closing price of the 215? In this case, it closes where? This is the 215 candlestick at the 330 candlestick, meaning that the 330 opened above what? The 330 opened above the close of the 215 candlestick, meaning that it's bullish. It says that during Asian session, we are definitely going to be buying. And if you take a look at it, it bought nicely without any problems. It bought until then. So it means that in this case, it's on you on how you trade. Your way of trading will highlight where you should be looking at buying opportunities or not. But from my side, I'm telling you, this is most definitely what? This is most definitely a way to say it now. During Asian session, up until then, it bought until then. It just continued buying. And one thing that you need to understand is that during Asian session and New York session, from New York session going upwards and Asian session, they will always take the same direction. If you take a look at this one, during it, and take a look at this, I'm just gonna highlight until Asian session. Asian session ends at around possibly not even something around that. So there wasn't a clear buy there, but the aim was that it just gave us the almost the whole daily direction. But I want to highlight exactly from 330, so that you can take a look at what happened after 330, because it suggested that during Asian session we were looking at buying opportunities. Also during New York session, gold will buy. Because why? You can look at it from New York session up until then, it was buying. Because why? The table suggests that during Asian session when we buy, we must also buy during New York session. It just depends on you finding the entry. Same thing applies. Let's take a look at this. It said that during Asian session we were looking at selling. So let's go and take a look at what happened during half past three. Half past three. We're just gonna want to half past three. Let's take a look at half past three. Half past three. Aha, voila. From half past three until then, it sold. So it means that there is a certain correlation onto what happened. So whatever that happened during Asian session is the same thing that you must expect on gold during New York session. Hence, I'm saying that with these sessions, what you need to understand is knowing which instrument to trade. So you just need to understand that with in terms of Asian session, you have about 3 pairs that you can trade, being GBP JPY, USD JPY, gold included as a metal in there, right? You can trade it then, or you can also trade it during New York session, right? So in New York session, there's other instruments that you can trade, which is indices. Obviously, I'm not an index trader. So what I'm going to tell you is that whatever that happens during Asian session on gold will happen even in New York session. Prior to that, all you need is understanding the direction. Once you get the direction right, you can definitely do what you can only just work on finding an entry. Simple. Meaning that if it happens that you missed an Asian session trade on gold, and then during New York session you come around, you just go and take a look at what happened during Asian session, and then you go into New York session with the same perspective to say that since then during Asian session this is what happened, during New York session, it means that this is what's going to happen. Because why? The same direction that they take during Asian session, it's still going to take it during New York session all the time, each and every day. Table suggests that. So if you go and read the table that I sent on the WhatsApp channel, it's definitely going to be easier for you to understand it now and much better with the emphasis that I'm doing right now, right? So once again, now here's another correlation that you need. You need to understand that when we look at gold And when we look at gold and GBP JPY, right? Since well, these are the trades that since these are the instruments that are quietly tradable during Asian session. What I want you to understand is the following: is that Asian session during Asian session on this instrument, particularly GBP, JPY, and gold, they will never take the same direction. Never, ever will you see GBP, JPY, and gold take the same direction. Meaning that if you were able to trade for instance, let's say you wanted to trade a swing on GBP JPY during Asian session, already that will tell you where gold was supposed to go, because we know that GBP JPY and gold won't go in the same direction. As you can see, during Asian session on GBP JPY, I was looking at selling opportunities, on buying opportunities, and then during Asian session on gold, let me go back to gold, and then on gold. Now I think it's the right time to bring back the thing. Where's that thing? Okay, let me just go to daily time frame. Let me just go back to daily time frame so that I can show you during Asian session. Where's that thing now? Is it in on the weekly time frame? Let me just check for it. Okay, there we go. Let me make it visible under hours, daily, 15 minutes. So now we can go back to 15 minutes so that you can see what I'm trying to explain right here. You're gonna see definitely that during Asian session, during that Asian session, GBP JPY, I mean gold sold, and then what happens on GBP JPY? GBP JPY will always take what, the opposite direction. These are the setups that I did during Asian session yesterday. So you can see during Asian session we had a rally on GBP JPY, two different directions all the time. That's one thing you must do. So that's how you go about planning and making sure you study the markets thoroughly so that you don't have to worry. So what worries you is not knowing the exact direction. So when you have the direction, the only thing you need to know is now go and teach yourself on how to find entry so that you can be edified for your own sake, not mine, right? So that's how you definitely just go about um, trading these sessions. And then one thing that I might not even might not that I didn't mention is make sure you subscribe and yeah, subscribe, comment, share the video. I'll go live again where I have to explain other things about how to trade sessions. I'm not gonna spill out all the beans in one time in this whole video, but for now, just make sure you subscribe, and then all shall be well. Until then, thank you